And now both players are left with Warrior, both teams are left with Warrior, and then that final wild card deck, which is Hunter for the side of Johns Hopkins and Warlock for the side of the University of Virginia.
And I have to say, with a Hunter's Mark in there, that deck is going to be fighting against Handlock just a little bit better.
It will.
And with the way that the threats are kind of heavily built, I feel like Warrior actually might have a tough time with that. They have a pretty decent suit of early threats. If they get to a Houndmaster turn, get to a Ram Wrangler turn, we could still see the game crack wide open. Something I have yet to see in competitive play is a King Crush off of those Ram Wranglers.
The very first time I played a Ram Wrangler ever, when I was playing around with the deck, I got a King Crush. And I tweeted about it instantly.
And that was when TJ knew that he was a player again.
And that's when I knew that my next golden class would be Hunter. And it was the worst 2 weeks of my life. No, it was pretty fun. But Ram Wrangler, it's very feast or famine.
Yeah.
For every King Crush you get 10 young Dragonhawks.
Or a Captain Spirit.
Or a Captain Spirit, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the card's great a lot of times. The average beast is usually still good for a 5-mana stat line, if you can get that. And I mean, that's sort of how the card was designed. It's, yeah, it's a risky card because you have to have a beast on the board. And just a 3/3 for 5 mana is not that great by itself, but it has the potential to be game-changing.
And that's what I want to see. Game-changing abilities. Either way, tied in Series 1 apiece. To me, it's looking like the Hunter is going to be making a difference in this series. I can totally see that deck doing fantastic versus Handlock, and that being the big difference.
Yeah. And we still have yet to see the Warrior deck. So we talked about it earlier. Both of these groups of players, both of these teams, have stated that the player on their team who is a Warrior expert is a Control Warrior player. Both teams have a player whose favorite deck is Warrior, so wouldn't be surprised if it's Control Warrior. I haven't actually seen Patron once today. And that's looking like a Control Warrior to me.
Patron Warrior in the Collegiate Hearthstone Championship has just been rotated out of the game.
Yeah.
It did so bad on week 1 that no one's willing to play it anymore.
Yeah, it did not have a good win rate. It only beat itself.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It performed very poorly, but that's the kind of thing that's going to happen if you have a deck that's so strong that people will just build to beat it. No, it's not going to win games, but the thing about it is it's because every deck's built to beat it.
Mm-hmm. There's that Ram Wrangler. They kept that Owl.
Well, here's the thing. Acolyte of Pain and Armorsmith can be big problematic cards for you. I would venture to say this Owl is more kept for Acolyte of Pain than Armorsmith, but depending on the context of their hand, they may choose to take a more aggressive stance with this one. There's always a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't think Ironbeak Owl is a poor keep in this matchup, but it certainly is a questionable one. That will definitely pique my interest at times, and I'm curious to see how this ends up working out for him.
Yeah, big deal here for the University of Virginia is they do not have a weapon to start fighting back for that board early on. Slam's pretty good pickup. That's good for removal. Double Armorsmith can be pretty good against Hunter, especially in combination with one another. Johns Hopkins has a decent curve, but no beast, no animal companion or web spinner. They do have the Ironbeak Owl, but it's a little weird to try and keep the Ironbeak Owl on the board out. That's a pretty good pickup. Yeah,
now suddenly I look at this board position and I see Ironbeak Owl, web spinner, and attack the Armorsmith with the Mad Scientist here. Let your opponent figure it out from there. I mean, that's a pretty tough position for them to be in. 3/1 health minions on the board. Now, that's the problem is you have 3/1 health minions on the board, so stuff like Whirlwind, Unstable Goal, these are all going to be cards that are on your radar.
Yeah.
But being able to roll into a Houndmaster and then a Ram Wrangler, I look at this hand and I see that that's the way they're going to win this game.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have much longevity. They're sort of all in on that. You know what? We need to get our beast rolling.
I even like how they made golden Ram Wranglers. Those are really the golden cards you want, the ones that create other golden cards.
I just opened Golden Ram Wrangler in like my first pack. My first TCG pack.
That's why. So you got a Golden King Crush out of it too?
No, I have one. I ran 2 Ram Wranglers. I have one golden, one non-golden.
That guy. Okay.
Yeah, I'm that guy. And usually I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to put 2 of one of each. Like if I don't have 2 goldens, I'll put 2 normals. But I didn't have the dust to craft the extra one, so I'm just like, yeah.
I always
for today.
I just make the second one. I'll just go start disenchanting stuff until I can make the second one. I can't tell you how many cards I've recrafted. Like just going back and be like, you know, I disenchanted this last week so I could make that Golden Jaraxxus.
Yeah. Like I've crafted and uncrafted Leroy Jenkins like 8 times.
Well, they are going to be able to handle this board position for now. They're even going to save their coin here. Very conservative play. You know, 2 armor smiths.
Nope.
It's like one of those super scary positions. Yeah, they're going to slam here instead. So they're not going to save coin. They wanted to slam the armor smith. Interesting they chose this method.
Wow,
they really just wanted to
Gorilla
protect
picked
her.
up. That card's great because it'll go back in your deck. Oh, wait.
That's the one TJ actually thought it was. Perfect. I'm glad that this one came up at least.
Yeah. Guys, really, wow. Really great of Johns Hopkins with that web spinner to pick up a Druid card.
Just
digging
We're going way overboard on this one.
Down the rabbit hole.
TJ needs the life vest right now.
Yeah. No, Guys, really is actually a fantastic pickup because at first it's out of BGH range. So you can play that for 7 mana. It's actually a pretty big body that can fight for the board a lot.
Yeah, it's just a 6/9.
Yeah, if you let it, I mean, even if it just trades into one thing and then gets BGH'd, you're still pretty happy because that's 10 times what a Captain Spirit would have done.
Or if you could just play it and it attacks for 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I like just playing the Houndmaster here. You know, with this hand context, I think it's very unlikely you're going to find a spot to use this guy anytime soon.
Yeah.
And so what's happening here is you're at least forcing Virginia to use their Fiery War Axe. Now maybe you pick up a minion that survives for a turn or so. I mean, that's really the big story here.
Yeah. And also, look at this. I mean, they're going to be able to hide an proc the Freezing Trap with an injured Armor Smith, and then hide a Sludge Belcher next turn, most likely. Yeah. Hide the Armor Smith behind the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, I think you just go for the 4-mana Armor Smith here.
Yeah.
A 4-mana Armor Smith is just not an easy card to play, and foregoing 2 armor to make sure it happens. They are going to go with the 2-mana one, though.
Really valuing the efficiency of the hero power usage.
Yeah, that's really interesting to me. They're choosing to do it that way. We're going to have to see if this ends up making a difference in the long run. Johns Hopkins' hand, meanwhile.
Oh.
You know, here's the thing. Savannah Highmanes are great, but not on turn 5.
Yeah, also.
Well, they're great if you play them on turn 5.
Yeah.
You can't play them on turn 5 without the coin is the point that I'm getting at here.
Also, what does a Ram Wrangler do without Rams to wrangle?
He sits in hand and says, I don't want to go out there right now, just hero power instead.
Turn 5, hero power pass.
These are the kinds of hands that are devastating for pretty much any single deck. If you're trying to drive the action and instead you do nothing,
pretty brutal.
Yeah, 2 damage.
No board presence whatsoever, and well, now it looks like University of Virginia is going to get to dictate the pace of the game. Johns Hopkins does have a lot of big hitters in that deck, though. But Sylvanas is going to make those plans a little bit tougher.
What's funny is the Owl is actually making a pretty significant difference right now. That Sylvanas otherwise would just be the best minion in the game right now, basically.
And, I mean, this might be a Ram Wrangler turn. I think it is.
You know, I mean, you could taunt up the Savannah Highmane here, but...
What's it going to be?
Whoa! Oh my!
Iron Beak Owl is going to be working double time now.
That's actually pretty darn significant at this point. You know, Virginia, ideally doesn't want to have to attack like 2-4 minions or whatever. In this situation, I don't know if they have a choice.
Yeah, this turn just opened up so many opportunities for Johns Hopkins. This turn is a little bit awkward for the University of Virginia. They do pick up Dr. Boom, but
look at the concern.
Oh, is that what you got from the glasses?
Well, just look at the body language and the hand over the mouth.
Very true.
This is look at the board and going, can we deal with this much stuff? I mean, and this is the kind of problem that Savannah Highmane presents, and not only that, but Ram Wrangler. It's going to be putting beasts into play that your deck is not built to fight against oftentimes, and that completely changes the board dynamic.
Hey, leave that Tentarana up. All of a sudden, Gazrilla comes down next turn, just wreaks havoc over your city.
There's no similarity between that card and what you're referring to. Yeah, they're going for the big brawl here. I can't blame them. We're going to find out if Armor Smith can win this one. If only it was a 2-cost Armor Smith that they had in hand instead of the 4-cost one. So just 2/2 lives. Not the end of the world, but I can tell you, these next couple of cards could very easily bring the end of the world.
Yeah, oh wow, expending the shield slam on a 2-2. They want an empty board, but they're going to be sorely disappointed.
Yeah, they are not anticipating this big of a reload from Johns Hopkins. King Zealot, this could even potentially get them another minion. Doesn't in this situation.
That
has to be a higher cost minion that you joust with. They pull those out of the deck at random. But a Savannah Highmane doesn't have to win any jousts. He's just got to not die, and then he starts punching.
Or clawing.
Whichever it's going to be.
Yeah.
I guess lions don't really punch.
Sure
Dr. Boom punches, though, with explosions.
Yes, he does. Well, Boombots could actually be really bad going up against a Godzilla.
I was just about to mention it. If the Tundra Rhino is still in play right now, they just double roll on the Godzilla.
Yeah.
And you give him the old...
that could be 24 damage.
You give him the gun hands and pretend to blow the smoke.
Yeah.
My job here is done. How'd you know we were going to get both those Boombots? When you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Yep.
Still some tough turns to navigate, though. I mean, 25 health for Virginia, and Johns Hopkins is sitting at 25 as well. So this isn't just a matter of, hey, I have damage, I'm going to push it to face. I mean, that may ultimately be their decision, and I think with Lotheb that would be an okay one. But they do have to figure out, is this Dr. Boom able to turn the game around if we don't take care of it?
Yeah, if we just play Godzilla, hero power, and then go face, is giving him sort of efficient trades going to come back to bite us?
Yeah. I think I like Houndmaster on the Elec. Lotheb to shut off utility spells, and then just bash them.
Yeah, spreading the wealth across the board, locking out the spells, putting that damage in.
Oh, that's a bad feeling.
I like this line. Whoa. Grom Hellscream.
Again, here the problem is, can they shut off this damage? I mean, the Savannah Highmane's leaving bodies back behind. You're going to have to get lucky with the Boombots to take care of this stuff. I mean, a lot of things are going to have to happen for this game to go right at this point.
Yeah. Grom, you know, from first glance, looks like it could be the best option here because you can take out that King Zealot right away, throw that Dr. Boom into something that you really want, and then hope those Boombots land on priority targets. Like maybe throw the Dr. Boom in Lotheb, hope you can take out the Houndmaster with those Boombots. I mean, it's wishful thinking, but I don't know what other choice they have with Lotheb locking out Revenge.
I mean, wishful thinking is definitely the right term for it, but again, you know, what option do you have? Let's say you get past this turn, suddenly you're feeling okay about it. That's actually pretty darn good for them, too. I mean, that's about the best you're going to get on the first one. So they've stifled a ton of the damage now, and suddenly they have 17 on board. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Not
11
quite.
points of damage, yeah. I think they're saying well played, like that was actually a great navigated line of play. So Johns Hopkins now has to decide, is taking out over half my opponent's health worth the risk of leaving this damage on board, or do we take these super efficient trades and rely on Godzilla?
Yeah. I like Godzilla. You just start with an empty board, plop down a Godzilla.
Here's the thing. My heart says Godzilla. My brain says Pilot and Shredder, Eagle Hornbow, Hero Power. But my heart tells me Godzilla.
Yeah, everything's telling me Godzilla.
TJ's like, I didn't even have a brain.
Aren't they the same thing? Johns Hopkins really thinking about it. So, okay, you play Godzilla. You have a clean board with a 6/9. Tough to remove.
They're going for it.
And you can push 3 damage with the Eagle Horn Bow.
They're going for it.
They're going to take the 7.
Wow.
With Grom out of the way, taking that 7 is actually not that big of a deal.
Yeah, this is actually quite a brilliant play from Johns Hopkins in this spot. They have realized that extra health is a resource at this point.
Yes, it is.
It is not something that we are worried about losing. Having that extra 2/2 is literally 4 extra points of damage right now, and potentially even more in the long run. There's no way they could have anticipated Virginia having a revenge for 3 in this spot.
Oh!
It's a good drop, though.
That's probably the best.
But despite how the result of this play went, that was absolutely the correct play for them. It was the one way I think they're going to get the most mileage out of their cards, and that's what this game has become, is this big grind battle for them. And kind of looking at the way these hands are built right now, would they have won if they went for Godzilla?
Yes.
Because their opponent wouldn't have been able to revenge. They would have had 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 points of damage right now.
Well, depending on what they actually would have, well, they would have been able to revenge, but it wouldn't have done anything. If they had played Eagle Horn Bow, they would have pushed to 11.
Well, it's still not over yet. I mean, there's still a Godzilla on the board.
With Kill Command, it would have been, but, you know, you can't always rely on that.
Yeah, so either way, they still get 4 points of damage here. Godzilla is technically uncontested this turn. They would have to use Deathbite to take care of it, plus the Harrison Jones. They can put a Sludge Belcher in the way, but are you going to fear Eagle Horn? I mean, so are you going to fear Ironbeak Owl?
Yeah.
Or even just being able to kill the Sludge Belcher and then having too big of a Godzilla to take care of? Like, there's still some navigating to be done for Virginia in this spot.
And playing this Kill Command is actually a big decision because you hold on to it. Well, now they're pretty much giving up that it's direct damage by taking so long. But you hold on to it, you give the illusion to University of Virginia that, hey, what could that be? That could be a card that could be an owl that could play into the
explosive trap, maybe to bluff too. I mean, there's a couple things this could be. I don't mind Kill Command on the Harrison Jones either because this will, from everything that you've seen so far and all the information you've gotten, this will protect Godzilla. And Virginia has got to be frightened of this situation right now. There's not an effective way to really take care of this at the moment.
No. You play the Sludge Belcher, all of a sudden, Godzilla becomes a 12-6.
That's the thing, too, is they can really only play one significant card each turn. Baron Geddon's off the menu right now. If they play Shield Maiden, Johns Hopkins has all the options on their side. The Deathbite's almost irrelevant at the moment. This is a tough spot.
Wow. Looking at it, I mean, Shield Maiden armor up, it brings you to 20 effective health. Now, is that enough to buy you enough time to get through the Godzilla?
Well, they're going to go with the Armor Smith instead. But this could very easily turn into disaster with a couple draws. That is not one of them.
Well, Web Spinner does have the potential to turn into something big.
But it certainly does, but right now that is one of the worst draws in the deck.
They want proactive cards.
Yeah, like a second Ram Wrangler here would have been fantastic for them. Houndmaster would have been great even. I think even just an Eagle Horn Bow would have been totally fine here. Even another Piloted Shredder. Basically anything that wasn't a small utility style card would have been fantastic for them. But they have plenty of those in the deck, so they are going to draw them eventually. Now the question here is, how do you deal with this minion combat? Like, do you kill the Armor Smith? Do you just wait? I mean, we've seen what happens when players don't kill Armor Smith before. They end up in some situations where you were close to victory, and then suddenly you're like, it's never coming after that.
Yeah, and so the merits are,
you lose 6 damage too by doing it.
Yeah, you lose 6 damage, but you also make it difficult for your opponent to deal with it if they don't have execute. Because taking that damage with a weapon is not an option, because that'd be 12 at that point.
Well, second shield block will certainly pad this life total a bit. But, you know, this was looking like the kind of spot where maybe they need to start thinking about Deathbite just to make sure they can control maybe the next couple of draws even. And at 8, there's not room for error at this point. They have to be absolutely perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, where do they throw that Deathbite? That's just so risky. You can throw the Deathbite at the Godzilla and trade in the Shield Maiden and kill off the Web Spinner?
Yeah, I'm thinking
the Sludge Belcher?
What I'm thinking is you don't kill the Web Spinner. You put the Armor Smith into the shielded Minibot maybe. Actually, you know what? This Deathbite is 8 points of damage. And behind the Sludge Belcher, this actually may be just enough to live. They may just go upstairs with this.
Oh,
that's exactly what they're going to do. Virginia has spotted their way to victory. It's punching.
Yes, it is. And with Baron Geddon in the hand as well, that's an extra 2 damage up front.
Oh, this could be disastrous. This Web Spinner really would make a difference.
Core Rager! That's big! And a Hunter's Mark.
Okay.
Hunter's Mark doesn't do much.
Yeah, that's it. This game has just ended right here.
Yeah.
If they need to pick up something like a charge, an Ironbeak Owl, some way to amplify what was happening on board. Ironbeak Owl actually would have ended it.
Yeah. Really great spot there from University of Virginia to realize, you know what? We just throw the Sludge Belcher down. There's not many outs for Johns Hopkins moving forward. It's hard for them to get through to that Shield Maiden. And I think Johns Hopkins is going to slowly realize that there's just not a way for them to come back into this one.
The counter assault was really the big deal here.
Yeah.
And that was, that's something often players don't. So here's what they're going to try to do. I think they're going to try to throw off the lethal maybe. They're like, hey, look at this 12-6 guns early. You got to kill this, right?
Your TeSPA's going to make it even bigger.
And the 7-7 Core Ranger, you got to take care of the board, right?
Yeah, or they're going to hope that they missequence and attack in with the TeSPA first.
Yeah, Virginia's way too smart for that, though. And there's that 5 damage.
Yeah, Johns Hopkins, they're like, okay,
Yeah.
it's worth a shot.
I think it's
with
worth a
enough
shot,
on the
too.
line.
I'd go for it.
Yeah.
You never know. Maybe they just get too excited and misclick. That definitely will happen from time to time. Either way, Virginia taking a 2-1 lead now in this series.
Yeah.
But I have to say, that Hunter deck, I don't think it's quite the battle they Oh, yeah. I don't think it's quite the battle they anticipated. You know, I thought they maybe thought it was going to be a smoother ride than that.
Yeah.
But that Hunter deck is packing quite a punch.